Good evening, everybody. I am in another spot of the house because running out of options, but this is my persuasive speech over a topic that I chose. The topic that I chose would be wearing a mask during this pandemic until things slow down and or we find a vaccine, and just some things that will kind of support that. Why should we wear a mask? Facial covers during these times. Either or. Clearly, to prevent any illnesses from spreading, but more importantly, to prevent the coronavirus. You might ask, why should we wear masks or facial covers if I wash my hands and stay 6 feet away from others? Kind of makes sense, but let me explain. In an article posted on time.com, unknown date, by Jeffrey Kluger, states how we should worry more about the air you breathe in a grocery store than about whether somebody touched the broccoli, simply because even if someone has clean hands, a lot of the grocery stores aren't sterilizing the food from when they get it processed in. They're having their customers do that. They're just reminding people to practice other skills. They don't necessarily clean their food themselves. They have the customers do that. But the reason he makes such a statement is to elaborate on how the coronavirus primarily spreads. What many people are underestimating is how dangerous it can be to cough and or sneeze without covering it. In another article posted on newsweek.com by the University of Sydney and Sydney's Children's Hospital, with an unknown date, states how the two discuss the coronavirus invades the body by latching onto a receptor mostly found in the lungs. This statement is a valid reason to wear something to cover your mouth and nose in public areas. Although many are taking other steps in preventing the contraction of COVID-19, a facial cover is the most efficient, especially considering that the sickness that causes, or I'll say the virus that causes COVID-19 is primarily spread through pathogens when we cough, sneeze, etc. Recently, we have been informed by the Texas government, Greg Abbott, about what he plans to do with guidelines Texas citizens must follow in the approaching weeks. In the DallasNews.com article posted by Robert T. Garrett, Ali Morris, and James Bargon on April 27, 2020, states Greg Abbott's statewide stay-at-home order on coronavirus will expire on Thursday, April 30th, today, as scheduled, with some restrictions, meaning only about, I believe he had stated only 25% of their typical customer intake, I guess you could say, is allowed in, at least for the meantime. Wearing a mask is more important than you think, as some people are asymptomatic to Miss Rona, aka COVID-19. Asymptomatic means one may have the virus without any symptoms or illnesses. However, if that individual coughs, sneezes, or decides to breathe on someone else, then those particles can travel through the air into someone else's lungs. Wearing a mask can prevent those particles from going on their joyride into another body. So if you've ever, let's say you get a flu shot, right? You and your buddy gets a flu shot. Your buddy gets the flu, but you're completely fine. You may be asymptomatic to the flu, but you may still have it without any of the symptoms or the repercussions. It's kind of weird. Sorry, my cat. I closed the door. It's not working. Anyways, on usnews.com, an article posted by Vanessa, Care Caress on April 17th, 2020 states, a cough from allergies usually occur with other allergy symptoms. Why is this important, you may ask? Many are scared when they have an allergy attack, as if they think to themselves, do I have the coronavirus? The real point in this statement is with allergy season around the corner, more and more people are susceptible to sneezing and coughing. Like I mentioned earlier about someone being asymptomatic, although it could be allergies, what if you were asymptomatic and you happen to have bad allergies without wearing a facial cover and or physically covering it up? You see why I'm stressing to wear a mask in public? At the end of the day, the virus will have a cure, people will have a new normal, and our lives will probably change in different ways. To help slow the infection rate as well to protect others, I encourage each one of you to wear something to cover your mouth and nose, as it can truly save lives and really bring an end to Miss Rona.